I have to disagree with Jesse on this one. The only thing that'll stop corruption is tougher jail sentences and solitary confinement.
Believe it or not, you don't get paid enough.
That could be.
And that leads to the corruption.
It's sort of they owe me, right? Because I get a very small salary for serving the country, and this is sort of the way it works. And there's opportunity
from all the special interest and all this and all that. I found it very interesting because I took a lot of heat because as governor I was paid $120,000 a year, but they also deducted every meal that my family ate at the governor's residence out of my paycheck. Mileage on my vehicle was deducted from my paycheck. Right. So by the time taxes were out, I was serving as governor for $60,000 a year. Why do you think I got in all the hot water when I did these other jobs on the weekend? Right. You know, I refereed a WWF thing or WWE thing. I did the XFL on the weekend because when all was said and done, I had a lifestyle that wasn't being supported by my salary.
And has that affected your decision to leave public life? And what do you think about somewhat,
absolutely
lifestyle?
It did. Sure it did, because you know, and so to me, why don't we raise the salaries? Mm-hmm. If you do that, it tends to eliminate the corruption, because if you're comfortable, you're not going to look for some alternative method to get rich in there.
Yeah, that's an interesting point. You know, so what is next for you? You've got there's a hot contested election going on there between Al Franken and Norm Coleman. What's next for Jesse Ventura?
Well, I chose not to enter that race. I think I could have won it. I had already defeated Coleman once before. I wasn't even in the race, and I passed Franken in the polls, so I was second already. And but 6 years in Washington, it just did not appeal to me at this point in my life, because I found that when I reached age 55, time has become more important than money,
right?
Or anything like that. And so I chose not to do it, but I laugh. Governor Pawlenty is now being touted for the vice presidency, right?
Yeah.
If I would have ran again in Minnesota, he wouldn't even be in politics today, because I had at one point the highest approval ratings of any governor in the state's history.
So you think he's saying thank you very much, Jesse Ventura?
He probably should, because if I'd have ran again, he'd have been in the private sector.
And his name would not be being mentioned to the great extent that we're all hearing it and becoming familiar with him today.
You know, Barack Obama could shock the world. What if he picked me?
He could. Would you like him to?
Well, I would look at it and I would give it serious consideration, because I think that would be a true investment to what Barack's trying to sell, and that is change. What would be better than to pick the high priest of the third party movement, as Eleanor Cliff called me?
The Obama-Ventura ticket. Well, we'll float it. We'll see if there's any positive response from his campaign. I'm sure they'll let us know.
I'd say it's slim to none.
All right, Jesse, thanks for coming by.
My pleasure. Thanks.